For you at noon, a Jamestown teen has been referred to juvenile court after the gun that he was handling fired into a woman's apartment. The Jamestown Police Department says that they were called to the 700 block of 14th Street Northeast just before 9 a.m. this morning. When the officers arrived, the victim reported that she heard a gunshot and a bullet came through her floor and into her patio door. Authorities say an investigation was found that in the apartment below her had been handling a gun when it went off. The teen, again, has been referred to juvenile court on suspicion of reckless endangerment and discharging a firearm in city limits. This incident remains under investigation.